lot of fun. We're looking at one of our trips that we took through Guizhou. And luckily for us, in this current situation, we actually had a follow car. So you guys, for the first time, can actually see us riding in front of the follow car.
So we thought this was a good idea because we have tons of this amazing GoPro footage of not just Guangdong where we used to live, but of other places we've been riding through in China.
Yep.
And we figured we'd go through like some of the more interesting areas while we're riding and point out stuff we see.
Yeah.
Interesting stuff happening on the side of the road, maybe read some signs for you. Something we've never even tried, and it's a treasure trove, to be honest.
Sure.
It's pretty interesting. But this takes us into Qiandongnan. I'll put a map up here. Qiandongnan is a minority area of Guizhou province, one of the poorest provinces in China.
Yeah, but one of the more beautiful provinces, to be honest.
We loved it, right? Yeah. And this is what happens when you go into an area that has a little bit more government love. So you have this fairly developed area by Chinese standards with pretty nice roads.
These roads are brand new. They were probably finished about a month or two before we got here. But hang on, I want to pause. Okay, we've got some propaganda up here.
So this one says, 大流队伍间一流业报一方平安福一方百姓.
That's something along the lines of lead a first-class team to make a first-class industry for the safety and well-being of the people, something along those lines.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Anyway, you'll see that often when you see these things, it's kind of like the government telling the people what the government is doing for the people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
that's exactly
it's like,
what it
this is what we're doing. We're,
right.
you know, or it's just advice, like, you know, don't be stupid and do something that common sense would normally not let you do.
Sure, of course.
Anyway, let's continue on.
So this is the Qiandongnan is the Miao and Dong Autonomous Prefecture, and the Miao and Dong people are, you might know them as Hmong people.
Yeah.
And the Dong people.
Oh, we got another one.
Oh, we got another one.
Okay, let's just pop in there for a second so that we can, you know, take a look.
That one says 确实关注民生. I can't see the rest. That says 真诚服务群众.
Yeah, which basically means earnestly pay attention to people's livelihood.
Yeah, that was a bit cryptic.
No, and serve the people sincerely. So again, it's kind of like a situation where the government's telling, this is what we're doing.
This is what we're doing for you. It means it's bullshit. It's bullshit.
I kind of like to think of it as this is what we ideally would like to do, but we haven't managed to pull it off yet.
Right. Well, usually with the Chinese government, this is what we're supposed to be doing, but we haven't done it, so we have to tell you.
Yeah.
We have to tell you
like,
so you
just
believe
in case
it.
you didn't know, we're serving you sincerely, just in case.
Just in case.
I mean, you might not see any evidence of it anywhere, but this
we
is
have
what.
to write it down.
Yeah, we're going to do
letters
this
on the side of the road.
Exactly. Anyway, let's continue. Let's get us out of here.
So anyway, this Miao Dong area is full of it's a minority area.
Yeah.
Mostly non-Han. It's like 40% Han. And there's more and more Han people moving in. Han's the majority.
Yeah.
And you'll actually see that in the architecture. You'll see that in the road building as well.
Sure.
Anything with a Han majority area, they'll see
Well, I mean,
infrastructure.
just take a look quickly on the side here while we're at it. Oops, sorry. You see these kind of lovely wooden houses? This is quite specific to this area, and it's something I really like. And And this is a big gripe of mine, is not these houses, but what's replacing these houses.
Right.
Is, like you say, when the Han majority come into an area, they build these cookie cutter, dirty little concrete blocks. They look terrible with the tiles on the wall. You know exactly what I mean. Half of it's still concrete.
And they'll come in with the government propaganda saying, we are saving you from poverty. Look at our concrete richness.
Yeah, but what I'd like everybody to pay attention to is actually not that shack. That looks awful. But like how nice the wooden buildings are in comparison to the
really
new.
pretty. They're really pretty.
Yeah. See there on the side, we can start to see like that kind of new, kind of gross looking nonsense.
You'll see in the areas, there's the minority areas and then there's the Han areas. You'll be able to tell very clearly.
Yeah. One thing I did want to point out is the license plates that you see going on here. It's the Gui H, which basically means that it's the Qiandongnan in Guizhou province, and that includes the Dong and Miao like autonomous regions.
When you hear autonomous region, by the way, in China, it means it's less autonomous than any other region.
Yes, if it says autonomous region, it means there be minorities here, and we better keep a close eye on them.
Here's a good example of a Han building. So this would be a Han building that's been moved in to replace the pretty stuff.
Yeah, it's kind of sucks. Let's see. Oh, look at the woman on the side of the road there is actually busy drying corn.
Yeah.
This is interesting because when you're on the rural roads in China riding a motorcycle, sometimes you'll have an entire road or at least half a road in those like middle of farmland where they're drying produce, either corn or chilies or whatever.
And you'll ride over it and you feel guilty.
Well, it's like what are you doing here? Sometimes you can't go around it. You have to go through it. And you're like, come on, guys, this is a road.
They don't care, though.
If you think about it, a road's kind of an ideal surface to be drying stuff. So they use the roads a lot in the rural areas. You come across this a lot.
Look at those kids just playing right on the side of the road with the trucks going
I mean,
by.
that's the interesting happening place, isn't it?
Yeah.
What does that sign say over there?
So it says school zone. Yeah. Tianfang Shuixia, that means you got to drive slow because there's a school zone.
Yes, it's Manxing. Yeah, so basically there's a school up ahead, drive slowly. So school zone. I don't think anyone pays attention to those, though.
No. Look at these beautiful houses, though.
Yeah.
These are really special. But then you get the concrete replacements coming in.
Yeah, you can see on the left there, that sort of 3-story building or whatever. That's the typical kind of concrete thing we're talking about.
Yeah.
Let's see, what else have we got here?
This is your typical village. You'll see on the outskirts of farm stuff, and then it goes into commerce. It'll go into like sales, and then it'll go into appliances, and then it'll like go into like vehicles, and then it'll go back into the countryside.
That's right, yeah.
So here we got what do we got here? Oh, go back. I see a beer advert.
Yeah, is that Yanjing beer?
Yeah, that's Yanjing. Yanjing's one of the worst beers in China, but I don't blame these like poor areas.
Yeah, let's go back. It's somewhere here. There we go. Okay, yeah. That says Yanjing Xianpi. Is that what it says? Xianpi? Yeah, which means fresh beer. I guess draft beer would be the correct.
Sure. Well, I mean, the name of it's Yanjing Xianpi is the name, their brand name, like fresh beer, Yanjing fresh beer.
Okay, and it says Zai Xian Yi Zhi. Yeah, that's Zhi. Yeah, Yi Zhi. So okay, so it's like another fresh one.
Instead of saying like 再来一瓶, like give me another beer, it's like give me another fresh one. It's like a play on words.
Yep. Anyway, let's continue on and see what we got. Oh, did you notice someone in there Miao minority?
Yeah, these are Dongju.
Dong minority stuff.
So these are Dong people, the older generation. They're the ones wearing the ethnic clothing. This is not a tourist area, so they're not putting it on for like eyes.
I mean, I don't know. When I see these ethnic costumes that they wear, a lot of the time they look like they're kind of Taobao fake bought things, you know?
Sure.
It doesn't look natural to me.
Sure.
It doesn't mean that they don't have them, but I feel like there's a mandate that they kind of have to wear.
Not in this area. This is well off the beaten path. That's something we should have told you guys earlier. You won't find tourists. This is not tourism.
It's not a tourist
This is middle
place
of nowhere.
Yeah. So I guess that there is some authenticity to that, except for her shoes, which are those construction worker shoes you buy for 5 RMB.
Tommy shoes.
You know, they're so uncomfortable. They've got no ankle support whatsoever.
I can't fit in shoes there because the max size is like 10.
Yeah, I've been blessed with normal size feet.
Right.
Yeah, you know what they say about guys with normal size feet.
Yeah,
wear normal size shoes. Yeah. Anyway, let's see what else we can find along here. You see.
That's a gorgeous house.
Yeah, you can start to see a little bit of this farmland on the side. Yeah. Another thing I really want to point out is the amount of people that you see walking around. Okay?
Yeah, that's a good point.
It's, it goes against the narrative that everyone's kind of rich and has their own vehicles. Because you can buy motorcycles for dirt cheap, but you don't see
name brand ones.
Yeah, you don't see that many people even on a motorcycle. They're all walking, carrying stuff here. But I love the beauty of some of these areas.
Yeah, it's absolutely stunning.
The wooden houses and the
rice terraces.
Yeah, all the cool little farms and stuff is really cool.
I just like the darkness of the wood. It's like really, really spectacular. It's kind of what you would assume in that area.
Yeah.
But then you see it just go away. I mean, all that's
just waving to the kids there.
Yeah. Yeah. It's always nice in these little villages. They don't see foreigners. So it's kind of interesting, Then their tiny village, there's some random foreigner show.
That sign up there just says like to fix the motorcycle fixing thing. And look, there's some more
Chinese medicine.
Yeah, some more stuff being dried on the side of the road. So just, hey, look, when you're in these rural areas, the stuff you're eating or whatever, it's kind of like road food.
It's a lot of road food.
Yeah, and you buy that TCM medicine, it's just being dried by like diesel truck fumes and stuff. Just bear that in mind.
Very true.
Yeah. Anyway, let's see what else we got here. Anything fancy up on these signs?
There's a lot of lumber for obviously the wooden house stuff, but
I keep missing stuff. There's another. That's also like there's a school up ahead. Slow.
These guys were hanging out on their scooters, talking to some ladies. Yeah.
Yeah, you'll find like the sort of adolescents. Hey, we got some propaganda up there. Something about focusing on development and alleviating farmers from poverty.
Yeah. This is the poverty alleviation thing that you've heard about all the way up until 2021 when poverty was gone.
Apparently.
Now, you won't see these signs right now. because poverty's already been alleviated.
Yeah, that's what they say. That's the unfortunate thing about China, is that if it doesn't fit the narrative, it's got to go.
Yeah.
Even though they haven't. Yeah, we can see some adverts for motorcycles for sale.
You see a lot of those because that'll be the go-to transport out there.
In the rural areas, guys, motorcycles are the main transport, and that's also why motorcycles are seen as a poor man's thing in China. It's something we used to run into all the time. We had a little custom motorcycle shop, but Chinese people wouldn't buy from us because they see motorcycles as being poor. It's kind of annoying. Anyway, let's continue on. What do we got? We got some little kids hanging around. Oh, see the red scarf, the young pioneer thing.
Yeah. So all the kids, they have to become young pioneers, which is basically you join like the communist. It's before the Communist Youth League. It's pre that. It's kind of what the Soviet Union used to do. But they have to wear their scarves if they're on good behavior. They didn't get them taken away. Yeah. But what I think is more interesting is behind that. My eye caught that sign. I thought that was interesting. It says 眼镜水箱 下河洗澡. So that basically means
students are not allowed to shower in the river.
Right.
So 下河 means down in the river.
Yeah, down the river.
So it's like the first two characters you see a lot in China. For those of you who don't know, when you see that, you have to pay attention. It basically means strictly forbidden.
Yanjin is everywhere.
So it'll be on signs where you're not allowed to go, and you'll see that Yanjin Churu, You'll also see sometimes Qing Wu, but that's more like a polite way of like, please don't. But that, if you see those two characters, it means you're forbidden. Above, you can see the same characters. It basically says you're forbidden to park a car there.
It says 眼睛停车, yeah.
Yeah, but
谢谢合作. So that's everywhere. But the funny thing is, they had a problem with students going down there to bathe in the river.
Obviously, otherwise they wouldn't have that. And they've got the government signature down there. But basically, don't go down in the river and shizao, don't go take a shower. I guess it doesn't really mean shower. It can really mean bath. It can be,
I honestly
don't wash yourself.
When I was in Guizhou the first time, I saw a lot of kids that had to go bathe in the river. That was a thing that people did.
I have a feeling that there's a reason for that. It's probably a bit of a construction site or something, and it's dangerous.
That's what I'm assuming.
Probably had some drownings. That's quite common.
In the interior in China, kids often go play in the river.
Yeah, they do. I've got some great footage somewhere. Sure. I have to dig it up. But that's the thing about rural kids, is they often do know how to swim. Unlike city kids,
dwellers,
they don't actually know how to swim. It's one of those weird things about China, like no birds. Tell me if you spot any birds in any of this footage, by the way.
And this is in the countryside.
Yeah, and dude, like I released that place, and it's like we sell phones.
Yeah, in all of these tiny towns, you see these random tiny little cell phone shops, and they're selling like $20 phones, but they're smartphones. Yeah, like $20 Androids, basically.
Yeah, it's interesting. And down there, it's like you're forbidden to Ting Che over there as well.
Yeah, you'll get like about a $20 fine if you park. But
that's
there's
huge
literally
for that
a
area.
They're not issuing those fines.
No, but I'm just saying for that area, that's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money.
I also notice a couple of satellite dishes here and there. And I wonder if it's because in these rural areas they are allowed to use satellites for something.
Because they didn't used to be, right?
It's illegal. I knew a guy who used to install satellite dishes for foreigners in and around Shenzhen, and it was super hush-hush. You have to install it on your balcony. It has to be kind of camouflaged and stuff because you're not allowed to get satellite TV.
That means you can get foreign media.
Yeah, that means you can actually bypass the Great Firewall, yeah.
Right.
Okay, we've got China Telecom over there. You're going to see a lot of this. In the rural areas, they go ape with their advertising.
Yeah.
And you've got two, basically. You've got the China Unicom and China Telecom. Mm-hmm. And basically, those are the two big main providers of cellular data cellular service in China, and they have amazing deals for the rural areas. You'll get like unlimited calls and stuff for like $10 a year or
this
something.
Area, it's funny in China, like your area will have different beers, and this is definitely a Yanjing.
Yeah, I can see it's over there. It's up there again.
But a lot of small towns will have their own small town beer, which is really cool.
Yeah.
Unlike this place is obviously just using Yanjing, which is one of the worst.
Yeah.
Not as bad as Kingway, but it's up there.
Yeah, I don't know. I might prefer Kingway, to be honest.
Yeah.
And that's saying something. Yeah, we got our typical Nissan Maxima
could be
party member
could
car.
Be a party member because he's tinted out.
Yeah, he's from a different area.
Yeah, he's Grade D.
Grade D, yeah.
So he's probably an official, CCP official.
Yeah, this guy's checking him out.
He's like, ooh, boy.
Yeah.
So you go through here, you see all these kids in their uniforms. They have very ugly school uniforms in China.
Oh, the worst. It looks like tracksuits.
Very poor tracksuits.
The ones in Shenzhen, they literally look like the kids are going to like a sports event.
Yeah.
So I thought, they must be having a sports day at school. Nope, that's their uniform. Yeah.
You'll see that's a good iconic moment there is an old lady with her farm goods a minority lady on the back of a motorcycle, and that's a Chinese bike. That'll cost that bike there. That would cost you about $300.
Yeah, new, brand new. Yeah. Okay, we've just got our usual China Unicom, Siliantong and Yidong, over there.
You see that the area getting more Hanified now as we go through.
Yeah, you can start to see the concrete stuff.
That's a real thing. It's called Han migration, and the government wants in the minority areas for the Han people to...
We have come to the end of the video. Thank you for watching. Kindly subscribe to get the latest.